Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's your time EdUp on the EdUp Experience podcast, where we make education your business. Co-founder of the EdUp Experience, Elvin Freitas, is sitting next to me. He's nodding his head as I get through that intro because I've said it over 600 times here on the EdUp Experience. I say it in my sleep. I say it in the car. I say it everywhere I go to try to perfect it. I don't know how much better it could get, though, after all this. Elvin is knocking his microphone around now. No, I turned him off. I turned him off, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to be on silent. We've got the conversations here at Jenzabar Jam are incredible. We've been talking about partnerships. We've been talking about longevity. We've been talking about challenges in enrollment, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, all of the challenges and successes, frankly, that higher ed is having, right? We're still serving students, still changing lives on a daily basis. Somebody that's changing lives every single day is my guest co-host. He's changing my life every time he comes back to guest co-host with me. Here he is. He's Jeff Elliott. He's Director of Product Management at Jenzabar. Jeff, welcome back to the mic.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Elvin. It's a pleasure to be here as always. It has been so much fun to join you guys for as many sessions as possible. And you're right. You know, the roster of topics has been incredible, and I think it's a testament to the other folks that we bring in to talk to from our partner schools and the challenges they face and do such a good job, you know, making lives different for students and all the things they have to leap over, run around, get behind, all that stuff. It's such a challenge. They do such a great job.
Jeff is my idol because he's so good on the microphone. I watch him. I listen to him. His voice is really good. He's been done voiceovers during his career, radio, all these things. I'm just trying to take away a couple of tips. He's probably done 600 episodes, at least. He did those, 20 years ago he did episodes. So he's still killing it. And we're going to have a good conversation today about partnership. And partnership is critical. We know this in higher ed. In fact, in Commencement, the beginning of a new era in higher education, a book that I wrote with my co-author, Kate Colbert, we have a whole chapter about partnerships and why they're critical and why 125 presidents have said they're critical. And we're going to find out why our guest thinks that this partnership model is critical. Here she is. She's Lisa Gabriel. She's the Associate Provost at Parker University. Lisa, what's going on?
Well, thank you for having me today. I'm excited to be here. And I'm really excited to present with my friend, my colleague, my longtime partner, Jeff Elliott from Jenzabar.
We go way back.
way back.
Yep.
What I loved is that when Jeff came over, he saw you sitting here and he just ditched his bag and threw on the headphones and got on the mic. He's just
Had to do it.
Get out of here. Lisa, let's set the stage for us. Where is Parker University? Who do you serve? How do you serve them?
Great. So Parker University, we're a conservative healthcare institution in Dallas, Texas. We have about 30 programs, all in the conservative healthcare industry. So everything from chiropractic, which is our largest and most well-known program, to associate degrees in massage, in radiological technology, diagnostic sonography. We have bachelor's degrees in health information management, nutrition and nutritional science. Strength and Human Performance, which is one of our new upcoming both bachelor's and master's degrees.
Strength and Human Performance.
Yes.
That sounds very interesting.
Yeah,
right. Health is taking off, especially personal
is.
health, right? So you think that's going to be a hot program?
It is. And it really supports our belief in helping athletes, executives, those who have disabilities, veterans who have injuries, make the most of their performance wherever they are. We even have opened a new public clinic called Parker Performance Institute, which is all about helping people take it to the next level, wherever they are and whatever the next level is for them.
Amazing.
I need to take my health to the next level. I'll tell you that.
Come on by.
Yeah.
Talk about Jenzabar a little bit. You've been a partner for, you said it, but when I said, how long have you been a Jenzabar partner? You said forever. I've been, so what does that mean? And then you've known Jeff forever. Talk about that relationship.
So we have been a partner for Jenzabar well before I got there, and I've been there 17 years at Parker. So we were already deeply embedded in the software and how we go about doing our business using the tools. And when I came in, one of my jobs was to oversee the relationship with Jenzabar and to use it more effectively, to broaden our use of it and to expand our scope. And the nice part about our partnership And Jeff and I just had to have a conversation about how do we know each other?
Yeah.
How we've known each other
What?
so long. Which role were you in? Which role was I in? And so a lot of that was around training, and a lot of that was around making sure people understood the new features and the new functionality. Prior to me getting there, I think we regularly sent somebody to Jam, but it was one person. This year, we're 20 people strong here at Jam.
Wow.
And next year, it's in Dallas, so we'll be even
Well, the
stronger.
the welcome reception is at your house next year, right?
That'd be great. Come
Amazing.
Come on down. We'd love to have you.
That's a lot of people. That's
Yeah.
a lot of people to send for a university to invest, right? 'Cause it's an
We
investment.
We are.
Because when you send people to conferences, and I know this, I think about this all the time in my role. Is this person going to be here for longer? How many people is it worthwhile to send? Do you need more than a few people? Could I get, what's the cost? And so it is very atypical. And I've been in higher ed for over 20 years myself. To have that many people, that's awesome. And how did that happen? And why is that happening?
I think you hit the nail on the head. It's an investment.
Nailed
we
it.
believe in investing in our people and in our partnerships, because if we don't come to this event and we don't know what's happening, we don't know how best to take the next step and innovate and become more effective and more efficient in the way we do our business and how we serve our students.
Is that typical? 20 people from a university, Jeff? Is it?
Not for one of the corner venues. So I say that meaning down in Orlando, right? For a lot of folks, that's a trip. That's a travel. That's plane. That's not, let's all get in the van and go to Nashville, right? Or let's get everybody at Parker in Dallas to go to Jam next year in Dallas. I mean, no, that's a huge commitment and very unusual.
What does that say about the partnership, about the usage of the product? Because the more people that know how to use it more effectively, the more longevity you get out of the product, the more use, the more nooks and crannies you can find, right?
Yep. And it's I think what eventually one of the things we'll talk about here with Lisa is that relationship, that partnership, right? And it's like any other partnership, it's based upon respect, and the more you put into it, the more you get out of it, right? And that's both sides. So the more effort we put into working with Lisa and her team, and the more folks they bring to Jam and understand all those little subtle, hey, we added this. And because Lisa knows I get that question all the time. Hey, when is Jenzabar going to add this to the software? And I'll look at my watch and go, about April 2 years ago.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, really? How did I miss that? Well, you miss that because you don't come to events like this, and you don't come to Jam, and you don't go to a RUG, our regional user group meetings, and you're not on product updates that we do online and regularly. And Lisa's team and Parker and everyone there has always done such a great job staying engaged. Their side of it is to put the time in to know what Jenzabar is doing. Our side of it is to listen to those users, work with those users, and figure out what to do.
Lisa, let's talk about that a little bit. The partnership, it's a 25-year long partnership, right?
Yes.
That's a long time.
It is.
And in a partnership, in a relationship with a vendor, there are times when you have to shop, you have to think about change, and that's typical of any business, right?
Certainly.
And you have to decide to stay because you believe that the product is what you need. And to stay with the product for 25 years and manage that product for 17 of those years, what does that management process look like? How does the partnership evolve to the point where every year you're getting the service that you need? And is it service? Is that the differentiator?
It's service. One of the things that I want to really highlight about our partnership is the ongoing communication that happens. And it doesn't just happen at Jam, and it doesn't just happen at a regional user group meeting. It happens regularly. There have been a few occasions in our partnership, although very few, where we had situations on campus that I had to make a phone call and say, I need help, and I need help like right now. And every time, and the few times that it's happened, every time Jenzabar's come to the table and brought the solution and helped us out and made it work. And sometimes that was completely on our side. We lost employees, key employees that knew how to run the organization.
A single point of failure. It's
Oh my
very
gosh.
common, right?
Oh yes, especially in higher education. We're all small institutions, and we don't have a lot of cross training and duplication of effort. So that's the kind of partner they've been to us. They do listen when we say, hey, we really need a fix here. We really need a solution here. Um, you know, no partnership is out without its hiccups, but that's part of the communication, right? Instead of getting to the point where you're like, I don't want to deal, I just need to walk away from this because it's quit being a partnership, it's quit being a relationship. We actively work on that to ensure that the communication stays open, the needs are evaluated regularly. We look to them and say, okay, here's what we need. Can you do it? Are we missing something? We invest not only in JAM, we invest in consulting dollars because there's frequently times that our IT team, as great as they don't have the bandwidth to fix everything that we ask them to do. Now that
True.
especially now that I'm on the consumer side of the customer
Once you
side
left
of
the
this.
IT, then yeah.
So, I think it's been a great way to manage the way that we need to grow. So, yeah, sure. Every once in a while, somebody will come along in the organization and say, "Hey, I think we need to evaluate." And we go through the evaluation, and every time it's like, okay, well, we may have some pain points over here, or we may have some things that could do better over here. With a little bit of back end work, we can make that work. A different report, we can make that work. Some consulting hours where we need some new training, we can make that work. But in the end, we've never ever come to the table and said, you can't meet our need.
Epic.
That's important, Jeff. That says a lot about Jenzabar.
Yeah, it does. And it's, I'm lucky to have leadership that promotes that, right? That makes that extra effort. I am on call 24/7 to clients. I have folks that call me at 8:00 at night once in a great while.
What's your
right?
cell phone, Jeff? So we can
It's
Please
given out
call
on
Jeff.
a very careful basis.
Please call him 12 a.m. to 6 a.m.
And a lot of it's cliche, Joe, but it's true. Like what makes our relationship, at least in part, special with Parker is my and Les's and Mike Floyd's relationship with Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa and I will see each other at jam, hug, how are you? And then, we'll shift gears once in a great while. And Lisa will, look, I got a call. I need help. Friendship first, right? And then partnership, and then business, and then all that stuff. And that's what we try very hard to foster. I've told you already, I've been here for 23 years, and a lot of it is because of the people I work with. And it's not just with the Jenzabar hat. It's the people I work with at the client sites
and you have to
keep us
believe,
engaged.
Lisa has to believe, and your partners have to believe that Jenzabar has the best interest of the institution and the students in mind. So the fact that you've stayed together for 25 years, Lisa, for Parker, it says so much about that, right? Because
It does.
you trust that, okay, even when there's an issue, I know that they're working in the best interest of my institution.
Right. And the one thing that, it's one thing to have a vendor who says, I'm your partner and says all the right things. But when you make a phone call, even a regular phone call to service or support, and you say, hey, I need some help, and they won't step to the plate, that's a problem. And that's not really a partner. That's really just a vendor. And they're not walking the walk. And that's one of the things one of the reasons I think Jenzabar and Parker are great relationships is because we both have that same kind of family oriented, we're all here together, we're here to serve. So one of our, what we call Parker principles, our founder had a number of sayings that were important. And one of them was loving service is our first technique.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Technique being a chiropractic technique, but coming from the perspective that our job is to serve others. And so when we come together and we're able, there's times that Jenzabar calls me and says,
That's
hey, would
exactly
you be
right.
willing to be a client reference? Would you be willing to host another college to come out and spend 2 days with your teams to find out how you use the system, the good, the bad, the ugly, and we want you to tell them all. what works, what doesn't work, what do you love, what could we improve on? Because that also helps inform us what we can improve on. And so that relationship goes both ways, and they walk the talk, and that's important to us because we expect our people to walk the talk.
And they do. And that's the key with a lot of our relationships is we do ask a lot of folks, right? We do ask a lot of our partners to meet with prospective clients. As my friend Les would say, open the kimono a little bit, right? Show them what we are, good, bad, right? Right. Yeah, exactly. Good, bad, right, or wrong. We have nothing to hide, right? And Parker and folks like Lisa deliver on that promise too. So I think that was the thing, Lisa, you nailed it. That makes our relationship special is not the promise, the delivery.
Absolutely.
And we both, like Jenzabar, I am expected, my team knows they are expected to deliver on promise, right? So when you say, I'll be there for you, you got to be there.
You better be there.
And when we turn to our clients and Lisa being there 17 years is so important to the relationship, to the continuity. Lisa calls me with a problem. My first step is to not evaluate if that's a problem. I know it's a problem. Now, my first step is solve the problem.
Right.
Other folks I don't know as well, or I only tend to hear from when they have a problem. I don't know, and I've got to figure out what's going on. With our partners like Lisa, we know she has stood up. They have walked the talk. And that's what makes those relationships so key.
And then as director of product management, if Lisa's calling you the problem in it and it's a problem, you fix it, you're going, okay, this must be a problem other places if Lisa's bringing it up,
and
right?
At the very least, it's a lead.
And then
right?
you can fix it.
So I'll get my folks on and go, hey, Jessica Painter, talk to Lisa.
Right.
Something's going on in the business office. We can't quite put our finger on it. You can figure that out. And then she'll permeate it out from there. Is this something that benefits everybody? Is this something we just fixed for Parker? All that stuff. And it's all that give and take that we've all talked about. Our team, my team, particularly in product management, we want to build products that delight users.
Right.
We don't always. Right? Sometimes we swing and miss or we aren't quite there yet. But I want Lisa to be confident when she has folks on campus visiting. I want Lisa to be confident when her folks move to something new that we vetted it out. We've talked to folks like Lisa and her team and the product that once it gets out there is something they're confident in.
Speaking of moving to something new, Lisa, you were in IT managing this relationship with Jenzabar for 17 years. You go to become associate provost in academics, and now you're a user. So your control is gone. What are you going to do? How has that transition been from management of the relationship to being a user, where you have to communicate your successes and struggles to somebody else who has to help you fix it?
It's actually been great. So I'm very blessed. We're all blessed at Parker. We have a wonderful school and we have wonderful people. And so as I transitioned from the IT team to the academic team, my relationship with the chief information officer, with our ERP manager, who's walking by right now, Caleb Malden,
one of the 20 people,
rock star that he is, and the new director that took my role, as well as all the other IT individuals that I worked with, that relationship has stayed strong. And so they also know if I call them and I say, I'm really having a problem, they jump in. Day-to-day business, my directors, they do what they need to do. They work there with the IT team as is appropriate. But if it escalates to me and I make a phone call, then they know that we have an urgent matter that needs to be addressed immediately. And sometimes that's a Jen's call and sometimes it's not. But I will also tell you that, I still have some people's phone numbers.
I was going to say,
Jeff,
you probably know the back
Michael.
channels.
Yeah. She knows how to reach me.
What's interesting though, I bet when you first transitioned into that role and you looked at things from a different lens, what tends to happen, or at least in my experience, it's happened where somebody in that role hadn't communicated something up to their technology department. They've just accepted something the way it was. And you get in there and go, what is going on here? How come nobody told me, Jenzabar, we can fix this? Other institutions have already fixed it, but nobody even said anything, right?
Right.
That happened.
It does.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason that I went from academic informatics and compliance which was my original role coming across to the academic team, helping with our SACS reaffirmation and several others all in the same year. That's a different story.
What health, you have very specific programmatic accreditors.
Yes. So we had 4 in 1 year.
Oh.
And passed all 4 with flying colors.
Oh, congratulations.
So, I mean, really, things are in very good shape for Parker University. So great programs, great. Clearly, we're doing our business correctly. And but on the note of moving, I think when I started to look around and as I started to help the provost resolve some what started as projects and resolve some issues in a couple of areas, it really came down to, are we using the system effectively? Are
Right.
we getting the right data in so that we can get the data out so that we can make decisions? How can I help push those things forward? And that led to, okay, well, you're now in charge of the registrar, and now you're in charge of financial aid, and now you're in charge.
Welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party, which is fine because, systems and operations and training and business process effectiveness, that's all in my change management. That's all my area of expertise. The move to from technology to an operational move was the most effective move for the institution as a whole. And so I'm in a better seat on the bus, and the person who's in the seat that I previously sat in is absolutely the right person, Alicia Fairweather. She's just amazing. So
that's great. Jeff, anything else you want to say about Jenzabar product development, Lisa, your relationship?
No, just one of the things, again, that I was in a different role when I met Lisa, right? So we've been on journeys together. You could probably corral, 100, 200 users here at JAM whose journey started in a different place, and we've all grown together. What I love about Lisa's story is her growth and the respect that comes with that. And not just people respecting Lisa, but I know the respect Lisa has for everybody at her institution. And that permeates down, right? Like, I think Lisa checks a lot of the boxes that at the very easiest level are leadership 101. And that's what makes Parker so successful, is they have a number of folks like Lisa who live that. We have a number of partners who I think swing and miss on that a lot, and I was just in a session trying to talk to folks about making the move to J1. And one of the stories I recount is a president who came down when I was a trainer. So this goes back 20 years, president came down and said, "Hey, everybody, this is Jeff from Jenzabar. Guys, this project is very important to us. Anything you need, any challenges you feel like you have, don't sit on your hands, let him know. Jeff, these people are incredibly important to me and to the success of this institution. You do whatever you can to help them out. Lunch is on me. Peace out," right? And the effect that had, you could see the glow. Everybody in that room took on, right?
Yeah.
Those are the moments that are so important. That's why Les and I and all the leadership at Jenzabar try to promote that. Lisa calls, help Lisa, right?
When Lisa calls, you better get back.
And we have a lot of folks who are like Lisa, where we trust and we've got that relationship with. And if the software comes out a week late, Right. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, prioritizing the relationships, I think, is what has made us be a successful partner with our partners who are being successful.
Exactly.
That made sense.
Yeah.
That's a good way to say it.
Lisa, last word to you. Anything else you want to say about Parker University? Open mic.
Open mic.
You can sing if you want.
You could.
You definitely do not want me to sing. Thank you, though. I appreciate the offer. I think one of the things I would like to say is, Parker is an incredibly innovative university. We're one of a handful of, two handfuls of chiropractic universities, predominantly chiropractic programs in the nation. And we are always going to be pushing the edge, whether it's with our student information system, whether it's with our the next mobile app that we need, whether it's with our library system, whether it's with our classroom technology. So we've gotten heavily into virtual reality, augmented reality. We have the first ever hybrid Doctor of Chiropractic program where students are off campus for the majority of their didactic work. They come to campus, they do their hands-on clinical training, they go into the clinical internship. So we're innovating. If we can innovate, we're going to innovate. It's one of our core principles, just like loving service is, and it's never going to stop. So it's important that we have partnerships and that we have relationships with people who want to innovate right next to us. And so that's been one of the great parts about being with Jenzabar. They have taken the leap and said, we're going to make this move and we're going to do it. And we're going to do it right. And they are delivering on that promise. And so I'm very excited as we start to roll out J1 Web and really get into, like, I have a new director who can't wait for Communications Plus. She's like, please, please, please. I'm like, okay. I'll do my best to buy it this season. So, it's a great place to be. We care deeply about our people. We have an amazing leadership team. We couldn't ask for better leadership, and they expect all of us to be good leaders, which is fun. So we are challenged to rise to our core values and our core principles. And then we get to work with great people like Jeff and Jenzabar. So I'm excited.
Well, he is great, and he's a great guest co-host. He is Jeff Elliott. He's Director of Product Management at Jenzabar. Jeff, thanks for sitting co-pilot with me.
Yep, very appreciative of the opportunity to be here. And of course, Lisa is a special friend. So thank you.
Thank you,
Lisa, for being here with us.
The one and only Lisa Gabriel. She's Associate Provost at Parker University. Lisa, did you have a good time today on the podcast?
It was a blast. Thank you so much.
Oh,
we really enjoyed it.
We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, you've just EdUp'd.